Welcome to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show. We've got a new show for you, a new guest every week, somebody important in the community, and this is presented by Hy-Vee Lake of the Ozarks, some great people over there. And our guest this week is the Executive Director of the Lake West Chamber of Commerce, Paul Hooper. Paul, thank you for taking the time to join us.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
It's a crazy busy time. We're into August and we're getting ready for shootouts. So, I mean, you're running and gunning. So, I mean, thank you for putting us on your calendar.
Well, I'm glad y'all would do this, and it helps our community be on TV and talk about what we are doing here on the west side of the lake. And the shootout is one of our big events on the west side, and it's a very important event for a lot of our charities. So the Chamber's right there in the middle of all of them, and we enjoyed that, and looking forward to the end of this month and another great shootout.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of fun and exciting leading up to it, but we're always kind of happy when it's over, right? Where you kind of sit back and take a breath and everything. So how long have you been at the Lake West Chamber of Commerce?
It'll be 6 years in November.
6 years, okay.
Yes, I moved up here from Texas.
Texas?
In
wow.
2015.
See, we have that in common. Yeah,
yes.
I was in Dallas for a long time. So you're not a Missouri boy then, huh?
No, I was born and raised in North Carolina.
North Carolina, some pretty country up there too.
Yes, I love it back there, the mountains and the coastline and the Piedmonts. It's a beautiful area.
Yeah, so it's beautiful there, calming there, mountains there. Here you got the Ozarks and the lake. What's better?
The Ozarks.
Oh, there you go. Good answer.
Well, I saw that there was a Sunrise Beach in the middle of the Midwest.
Right.
And I just couldn't believe it because I'm from Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. So I had to come up here and see what it was. And then I found out about the Lake of the Ozarks, and I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
So I did some research. Once I did some research, and I said, well, that's where I want to be.
Yeah.
And now I got me a condo on the lake. Got a dock, got a garage. I'm happy.
You're living good.
Living the good life.
Absolutely. So we've got the shootout coming up. I'm sure that keeps you crazy busy. How is the Chamber involved in shootout?
The Chamber works a lot with the volunteers. There's probably about 50 charities that work with providing volunteers for the shootout, for the whole time of the shootout. With that, we probably work from, in the beginning, we're staffing a lot of the events. So I go to these charities, find their volunteers, get them committed to these events, get them signed up so that we got it covered. Then during the shootout, I manage the volunteers on the ground from probably vendor registration through Sunday afternoon in the awards ceremony.
That's got to be like herding cats, I'm guessing, huh?
Yes, and you work with Ron Dugan, you know. It's like, yes, sir. You know, you get that call, you get that click, Ron comes in. Hey, what do you need? You know, so it's kind of like you're a Dutch boy.
Yeah.
You know, whatever they need, we're there to do it. The volunteers. So it's a busy time. It's a big event, and they've got a lot going on the lake, and he's got a lot of responsibility. So I just sort of manage the volunteers and just stay out of the way.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. It's like being an umpire. The best umpires you hardly ever notice. Right? Absolutely. So now how many volunteers in all do you usually deal with?
I just went back and did an average over the last 6 years. We average about 675 volunteers a year.
Wow.
Some years have been more, some have been less, but that's the average for 6 years. Now their hours that they put in now is quite significant. I think that's up around 8,500 to 9,000 hours for each year for the last 6 years.
That is incredible, but that's what makes the shootout so special. I was talking with Captain Ron about this, Ron Dugan. The shootout wouldn't be the shootout without the volunteers, but not just volunteers, just the special people that are here.
Well, I think last year is an example of that. Had they not gone forward, that board and Ron Dugan, to put that on, those charities would probably have gone broke, a lot of them. Because that's the main source of revenue for a number of our charities here at the lake. And last year they were able to double and give out $400,000 to the charities. And over the period of times they've had it here on the west side, I believe they've given out over $2.4 million.
What a number. That's just incredible.
Well, that's charities. That's why the charities volunteer.
Yeah.
And they got passion for the shootout, passion for the charities they support and volunteer for. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're talking with Paul Hooper, the Executive Director of Lake West Chamber of Commerce, as we get ready for Shootout. They are heavily involved in that, coordinating. You yourself have a pretty amazing story. We're going to get into that when we come back here on the Community Spotlight Show.
There's nothing like summer at Lake of the Ozarks, and Hy-Vee and Osage Beach is your one-stop shop for your day on the boat and fun in the sun. We feature the lake's largest wine and spirits department, along with our lake-famous beer cave. And you'll want to check out our brand new Summer Fun Center with all your apparel, toys, coolers, inflatables, towables, and so much more. Hy-Vee and Osage Beach, voted the #1 grocery store in Missouri and your one-stop shop for an unforgettable day in the sun all summer long.
Discovered over a century and a half ago, Bridal Cave continues to amaze those who venture through it. As you tour through Bridal Cave, you'll see massive onyx formations, giant columns, and the one and only Mystery Lake. Bridal Cave's unique stalactite-adorned bridal chapel has provided a truly unique backdrop for over 3,000 couples from around the world. Bridal Cave is open daily, rain or shine. Guided tours leave every few minutes. Come explore the lake's favorite natural attraction. Explore Bridal Cave today.
It's our most protective wash yet. Introducing the Quick Car Ceramic Wash. It's an industrial-grade polymer solution with ceramic nanotechnology, resulting in high-end, advanced scientific protection of your vehicle's finish. The Quick Car Ceramic Wash. Try it on its own or with the monthly Unlimited Wash Club today. Quick Car. Quick, easy, and professional every time. In Jefferson City and Osage Beach.
Welcome back to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show, presented by Hy-Vee Lake of the Ozarks. You get to see the new show every week right here at 9, 3, and 7 on Lake TV. It's Paul Hooper, the Executive Director of the Lake West Chamber of Commerce, with us this week as we gear up for Shootout. And we've been talking a lot about Shootout and everything, but you yourself, you have a great story. As a kid, you, I guess, were a pretty good baseball player.
I'd like to think that.
So good that you actually got hitting lessons from the great Ted Williams, probably the greatest hitter of all time. How in the world did you manage to get hitting lessons from Ted Williams?
Well, he's the last 400.
Last one to hit 400 for a season, yeah.
I played baseball for American Legion back in North Carolina, and we won all our playoffs and went out to the national championships in Aberdeen, South Dakota.
Wow. In
1965. And Ted Williams came out to our scrimmage.
Yeah.
And so as one of the players, going up to bat and everything, he came out on the field and he talked to us about each one of us that got to hit. Gave us some hitting instructions, and mine was turn my hips into it a little more.
You still remember that, right?
Yeah, I'm still trying to turn my hips. But, the great thing about that was Ted Williams. I mean, I was in awe of Ted Williams.
Yeah.
And the fact that he came over and get to talk to him and everything. And then later at the banquet for the teams that were there, he spoke. Quite a speaker.
Really?
Quite entertaining.
Yeah.
Tells a great baseball stories.
I bet.
I can't repeat him on the air. But it was awesome to listen to him. And in the end, we won the World Series.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I was the youngest player on the baseball team.
What position did you play?
I played first.
Did you really? Mm-hmm. Wow. That's saying something. I played American Legion ball too. We won state, made it to regionals, never got past the regionals and stuff. I mean, that's pretty high. When you can win a national championship, that's pretty amazing.
You got a lot of playoffs to get there.
Yeah, you sure do.
We played well into September, so I missed a little of school.
Oh, yeah, that was the worst part about it.
There was nothing wrong with that.
So Ted Williams was also a war hero. Mm-hmm. I think, was he in the Navy? I know you were in the Navy, right?
I was in the Navy, but I think he was a pilot.
He was a pilot, yeah. Mm-hmm. So he gave up a couple of years of his major league career to fight in the war. I mean, he was a hero as well as a great baseball player. So you were in the Navy, and you thought you were going to become a doctor at some point, right?
Well, I went in the Navy at 19 and went to San Diego and never been to a doctor or a dentist or anything like that. And, Vietnam was going on, and they said, well, what do you want to be? And I told them, they said, well, this is what you're going to be. So, okay. So they made a hospital corpsman out of me, which means they train you to be a corpsman for the Marines. And then I had a high enough average to be able to apply for another school, and I applied for operating room technician school. And so I did that for 6 months too. So that and working on the wards, working in the dispensary. I did go to Okinawa with the Marines and ran the dispensary over there. So I just got consumed by patient care and watching people recover. And I remember the first person I ever did CPR on that I saved his life.
Yeah.
And 3 or 4 months later, I was sitting in a room on the ward, and the elevator opens up. This guy comes in. I didn't recognize him. He says, "You remember me?" And I said, "No." He told me who he was. He says, "I want to thank you for saving my life.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going home today." You know, and I just like chill bumps just went all
Oh
over
my
me.
gosh.
So it's just one of the many stories
Wow.
that you live through, and a lot of people that are in that profession.
Were there any tears shed there, or were you guys too manly to shed any tears?
I think there was just a lot of chill bumps. You know, I
Oh,
was
my
19.
gosh.
You know,
Yeah.
so it was one of these life learning experiences and things. So.
Incredible. Okinawa. So you saw some pretty severe stuff over there.
Well, it was like I wasn't on the Air Force base or the Navy base or the Army base. We truly was with the Marines in Quonset huts and Third World War. You know, Third
World country?
Country
Yeah.
type thing with
Yeah.
you know the amenities and things like that. So
Yeah. We don't know how good we have it over here, do we?
no,
I mean,
no.
we are pretty spoiled over here, that's for sure. So you've been at Lake West Chamber for 6 years. The west side, because it's Lake West Chamber, west side seems to be growing. I mean, is it growing on the west side of the lake?
I think it is. I mean, we've had probably, if you go between Laurie and just Sunrise Beach or Greenview, we've probably had 10 or 12 businesses open up just this year.
Yeah.
And then they've got a number of people that are looking for open businesses and looking for property and looking for places to put their business. So we got a great racetrack that's come to this side of the
Yeah.
lake. We don't know the impact of that yet, but we have our hopes. Everybody does, but we think it'll be good for our west side. So I think with the people that are here that came down for COVID that have stayed here, we're getting calls constantly, people wanting to start businesses.
Yeah.
So we have an opportunity zone over here that's just on the west side where people that want to do capital investments and defer that tax on that investment, money can make investments into those opportunity zones. So we have a number of people that are inquiring about that. So we've got several CBD manufacturers and distribution centers that are on our side of the lake that they're being built right now. So I'm seeing a lot of growth and everything now. Our members are kind of struggling with getting employees, so that's one of our biggest issues. And then affordable homes for the employees and other people that are moving here. So we have some issues, but we have a lot of positives.
Yeah.
And right now, everybody says it's so good, it's almost too good.
Yeah.
I'm going, ooh, never heard that.
Hey, how about that? There's always the growing pains, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's a double-sided sword. Whenever
Yes, it
you
is.
grow, you're going to have a growing pains. You just kind of have to deal with those two things. But that's the position you want to be in.
Yes,
absolutely.
absolutely.
And Lake TV and the Lake West Chamber, we've partnered up. We are working closely together now, which is good for everybody, and we're really excited about that. So you're going to get real tired of me, I'm sure, very soon.
No, I think that's what we need. You guys are on the west side now, but I know y'all cover the whole lake area,
Yeah.
which is great. And I think that it'll be beneficial for our members here on the west side to take advantage of some of the things y'all do. And I think that Lake West Chamber will do that. And we're proud to have you in at the highest level of our membership, at the presidential level. And
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a great partnership.
It is. It's a wonderful marriage. Absolutely. Okay, so we're down to our final few seconds. If there are some folks who are interested in volunteering for Shootout, you kind of manage all of that. How do they get in touch with you? How do they volunteer?
Just call the Chamber of Commerce, Lake West Chamber, at 573-374-5500.
Okay.
And just let us know what you want to do, what you want to volunteer for, or if you're a charity and you want to try to get on the vendor list for the Shootout, contact me, let me know, and we'll go from there.
That is perfect. All right. So now we know a lot more about Paul Hooper, the Executive Director of Lake West Chamber. Thank you, sir, for coming down and talking to us.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Thank you, Chris.